Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So today, I'm going to talk about one of the things that I think has been regarded a lot about university, and how it can actually be a detriment to go to university a lot of the time. So when you get out of school, you generally, let's say at 18, you just finished sixth form, and for the first time in your life, you've got so much freedom. You're no longer required to be in some kind of education legally. You can just do whatever the fuck you like. And with this comes a great sense of excitement, right? It's really sort of exhilarating point in your life. The problem is that with all that excitement comes a lot of fear. Because in order for you to take the most of that opportunity, you have to square up to the fact that there's a lot of indecision. You got to do a lot of thinking about what's your sort of role, what you want to do you got to do a lot of deep work to figure out what you want to do in your life, and that can be quite difficult and very nerve-wracking for a lot of people. And university provides a fantastic anaesthetic to this. Because it provides people with some kind of purpose that they can do, that they can have. It's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Here's like a ready-made one. Study something you're good at for 3 years, and drink every 3 days. Go out all the time. That's something that you can kind of do as like, well, why the fuck would you, sit down and sort of really think about what your purpose is, and go through what is effectively kind of a sort of existential dread of what you're going to do with your life. Why would you bother to sit through that when society just will applaud you for taking the sort of easy route out and going to university, having a really fun time? It's like, why wouldn't you do that? And then you don't have to think about what your role is in society. You don't have to worry really about being useful. You just fuck off to university for 3 years, and it's really great, right? And I really see that now, having finished university. For the first time in my life, it's like, I've now got that same feeling again, of like, well, what the fuck am I going to do after school? It's like, what the fuck am I going to do after university? Except now it's much more pronounced, because I always decided I was going to go to university, and there's no real other option left for me. And the reason I know that university is kind of a anesthesia is because if, that's kind of the temptation for me to do a master's. It's coming from the same place that it was coming from when it told me to go to university. Because if I did a master's, it's like, that's another year of just kind of anaesthetic, of just not worrying about what my purpose is. All I need to do is just, university will give me one. And it's accepted by society, right? So yeah, I really see it coming out of university now, and I've really had some sort of quite alarming places in my head over the past few weeks, as my brain's suddenly been like, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? I'm kind of freaking out about it, to tell you the truth. And it's not been pleasant. But there's really been no escape from it, and kind of me discovering self-improvement and all this stuff has sort of made me embrace it in a way that I wouldn't have before necessarily, I don't think. And the sort of conclusion I'm going to come to with you guys is basically having actually lent into it, and sort of this kind of existential dread of what the fuck am I going to do with my life. Having the anaesthetic taken away, and now suddenly I have to face the sort of existential dread. I've actually kind of made peace with it, like I've already sort of decided what I'm gonna do. You know, it took like 2 days of finishing exams, and like now I know what to do. It's like I'm gonna become a digital nomad. You know, might take a year, might take 6 months, might take 5 years, but like okay, do that, great. And now it's gone away. I found something else to do. That's sort of filled that gap. So if you let yourself sort of, if you're sort of feeling like you're finishing university and you're kind of, what the fuck do I do? I think you want to hold, or even like school, you know, you're sort of finished sixth form and you're like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do now? I finished school. I think, I'm not saying like do a master's, don't do university, because there are times that's the best decision, that's the best play on the board. But I think if you decide that, you don't want to decide to do that because of a kind of existential, like, it just seems like an easy way to get rid of that existential dread. You really want to sort of lean into that existential dread as much as possible, because it will give you answers if you sit with it for a little bit, you know, just in a quiet room, you know, just let yourself sort of feel it. It's not very practical advice, but I hope you appreciate what I'm getting at. That pain isn't bad. That pain isn't bad. It will inform you a lot if you let it. Sort of come after you, basically. So, anyway, I hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys soon.